Okay, sir, we are going to check it. Yes, okay.
Okay. So should I start, sir?
Yes.
Sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, start. It is
Okay.
recorded.
So today we have gathered here in this online platform for the online webinar. This webinar is going to be organized by DAB Public School Bihar Zone F, Buxar Cluster. You have attended before this 3 sessions already. In this session, to be the trainer of this session, I, Mithun Samanta from DAV Public School, Serghati, heartily welcome all of you. And today, the topic on which I'm going to focus, the topic is storytelling as pedagogy.
मिथुन समांता.
Topic is storytelling as pedagogy. So here on this screen, you see one picture is available. In this picture, some people are being given training how to drive a car. Now, when the people are given training on how to drive a car, who will be the best driver? The person who can drive his vehicle in better manner, his car or her car in better manner on the road, he is the best driver. Means training is given practical field. The person who is able to apply, he is the best driver. So, means at the starting of this session, I would like to tell you one story. It is the story of the woodcutter. There was a very strong woodcutter. He asked for a job from a timber merchant. He got it. And so were the work conditions for that reason. The pay was very good and so were the work conditions, and for that reason, the woodcutter was determined to do his very best. His boss gave him an egg. He was to work. Please, Santosh sir, Rakesh sir, please mute yourself. Santosh sir, Rakesh sir. The first day, the woodcutter, on the first day, the woodcutter cut down 18 trees. His boss was extremely impressed and said, "Well done, keep it up. You are best woodcutter yet." Motivated by his boss's words, the woodcutter tried even harder the next day, but he only cut down 15 trees. The third day, he tried even harder, but only cut down 10 trees. So see here, gradually, the performance of the woodcutter is being reduced. On the first day, he cut down 18 trees. Second day, 15 trees. On the third day, 10 trees. The woodcutter became upset. He couldn't understand the cause. He couldn't understand poor performance. Eventually, his boss came to him, took one look at the eggs, and asked, "When was the last time you sharpened eggs?" "Sharpen my eggs?" "I have never sharpened my eggs. I have been too busy trying trees." Now, one question may come in you, why I have told you this story. I have told you this story with a particular moral. The moral is that don't get so busy that you don't take time to sharpen your eggs. We teachers are our students are exposed to multiple sources of information. We have to sharpen our knowledge from time to time to give them proper education, because education is not preparation for life. Education is life in itself. Means we teachers, we have to gradually sharpen our X. Our X is our knowledge. Our X is the skills that we have to learn gradually so that we can perform better in the class. So now I'm going to play one just video. You have to watch. This is a very short video. You have to watch this video, and after watching the video, you have to say what have you understood from this video. I'm going to start
कहाँ देखा था पढ़ा
the video carefully.
हो ये सब क्या ये होटल वाले बच्चा था हमारा नीचे दे मनी भाई और ले जाए
Samantha sir, you are not audible.
Any one of you please share your view. Now am I audible?
Yes sir.
Am I? Okay, any one of you please share your view. I have played this video. What do we learn from this video? Please, can you share please one or two words? Okay, actually my purpose of playing this video was that we are benefited by one another. Means in the working field as a trainer and the participants as a trainee, what is the relation? The relation is that we are benefited by each other. Means that learning we can put in our class for the benefit of our children. So today I'm going to discuss about storytelling as pedagogy. The telling of stories is an integral part of humanity. Regardless of the different cultures we hail from, we learn to other people through the stories we tell and listen to. Storytelling is one of the oldest techniques. In the earlier days, in the Gurukul, when the children used to learn, the gurus used to tell stories. And the disciples, they used to listen the stories, and through these stories, they used to learn. And now, at the present, this technique in our classroom. Now, from where story has come? You know, story is one of the literary genres. If we divide literary genres, then we find some of the specific genres like fiction, poetry, drama, non-fiction. Fiction is of 5 types: realistic fiction, science fiction, fantasy, traditional literature, historical literature. And traditional literature are of many kinds like legend, tall tale, myth, fable, then fairy tale, folk tale. These are the different types of traditional literature. Non-fiction, there are different types of non-fictions like information, informational, biography, autobiography, memoir. So these are different types of literary genres. Now, amid these literary genres, while as an English teacher, then storytelling method can be very much fruitful if we know the best techniques to tell stories in the class. Howard Gardner, I think you have listened the name, you have studied about Howard Gardner. He is one of the famous psychologists, and he has given one theory also. His theory is very much famous these days. CBSE is organizing so many webinars on his theory of multiple intelligence. Howard Gardner had said, then your narrative ability, your ability to put into words or use what someone else had put into words effectively is important too. So Howard Gardner had said storytelling is very important, but we should know the techniques of telling story in proper way in the class. Now, before entering into that topic, we should know what is story. Generally, we English teachers, we all know that story means there is plot, or there are plots, characters, situations, and through these a story is told. Now, what is pedagogy? Pedagogy means way or technique through which we can teach in the class. Now, according to CBSE, presently we are not the teachers, we are the facilitators. We have to create such situation in our class so that children themselves can learn, they get the learning atmosphere. So we should understand the relation between story and pedagogy. If we know what is the relation between story and pedagogy, then in fruitful manner we can teach story in the class. Famous psychologist, especially child psychologist Robert Mack, he had said storytelling is the most powerful way to put ideas into the world. What are the things we should know while telling story in the class? Some of the basic things we should know. First of all, we have to understand who are our audience. As per their age, as per their ability, understandability, we have to introduce, we have to choose such a story. First of all, we have to engage the audience. Now the question is, how can we engage the audience? We can ask 1 or 2 questions, and the questions must be related to our story. We can make some statements, and through these statements, after listening the reaction of the students to the statements in the class, we can give some funny examples in the class. And if we introduce some funny examples, no doubt children will laugh. No doubt some children will say something. Is there any one sentence from which I can raise the element of the story that I would like to tell in the class? While telling the story, we have to build a scene in the class, an atmosphere in the class, so that children can enjoy the story. We have to paint a picture in their mind. If we can, through our gesture and posture can paint a picture in their mind, then no. And very carefully we have to tailor our language, means what language I should choose for the telling of story in the class. That is very important. Generally, simple words we should use in the classroom, so that children don't face the problem of vocabulary while listening the story. While telling the story, we have to build tension. In the student's mind, one curiosity should be developed. Then they will try to know what is the next, what is the next. After that, we have to release them from the tension also, the tension that we have aroused in them. Feel rush means while telling the story in the class, we should not be speedy. Rather, we should take time as per the requirement. Where pause is required, we should give pause. Then only our story will be attractive in the class. Suppose you are going to introduce one horror story in the class. Then obviously, your gesture and posture should be like that. Suppose you are going to introduce one funny story in the class, but if your face is gloomy, then how will children enjoy that fun in the going to introduce in the class? That theme should be exposed through your facial expression in the class. And taking breath is also important, where you need to take give pause, where you need to take a breath, and main focus should be given to the minds of the students. We should have the eye contact. We should look at the students. If we look at the students and tell the story, then children will understand that teacher is giving attention. Side by side, we can understand that the students are understanding or not. Keep the flow logical, means when we introduce the story, we must maintain one logic while telling the story. Then again, we cannot go back. Then children will not be able to understand. And at last there must be a conclusion in the story. We should warm it up. Means after the story, we should connect the story to the real life incident so that children can understand the significance of that story. Now, every lesson has one objective. When we tell one story in the class, then that has one specific objective. The objective is that behavioral change of the student. The objective is that development in the student, development of his understandability. So we should connect the story, we should present the story, and we should bring out the moral, and we should relate it to the life incident so that one value is aroused. Children learn one value. You know, CBSE these days, in every subjects they have introduced value-based learning, means value-based questions are also given. So by listening the story, one value is also inculcated. Not one value, many values are inculcated in the students. So after telling the story, we can ask some questions to the students. And from the answer of the student, we can understand how far the student has understood, the specific student has understood, and where he has not understood. Now, while telling the story, our tone, intonation, modulation, these are very important. We should take care of these only. If we just tell the story in monotonous manner, then it will be monotonous. So we need to take care of our voice. Sometimes it may be high pitch, sometimes it may be low pitch, sometimes it may be through some sound speech, as per the requirement we have to put. Now, when we tell the story in the class, then one diagram should be in our mind, that is how to introduce the story, how to introduce the complication in the story. As you know, G.B. Shaw, one of the famous dramatists, Bernard Shaw, had said that no conflict, no drama. In story also, there is one drama, one story can be dramatized, that we English teachers know. So one conflict must be there in the story, and how to bring that conflict, and how to go to the middle of the story, how to go to the climax, how to go to denouement, and how to go to coda, means how to finish the story, how to derive a moral from there, that we should know. Now, friends, here you see, I have presented one diagram before you. When we present one story in the class, at first there is one introduction, sets the scene. Introduction means sets the scene by introducing characters and context. Means we need to tell the students context of the story, the characters of this story. We need to introduce the main problems for the characters, main problems for the characters in the story. And we go to the middle of the story. We have to go to the middle of the story. A series of events and similar problems will come there. And gradually, the characters will overcome the problem. And then the story will reach to the climax, which is the pinnacle of the story, in which the characters solve the main problem. Then the series of events where the conflicts are resolved. Then the optional part at the end where the moral is revealed. Now, story is means a narrative. Narrative, descriptive, different types of stories are there that you know. Now, I would like to see you some of the basic structures of a narrative. One narrative means a narrative is a story. Text. The stories are fiction, that is, they are not true. They are narratives, but all narratives have the same parts. Each part or event is a separate paragraph. Now here you see, I have presented before you one story of Robin Hood. You know, Robin Hood is one of the legendary hero. And one story of Robin Hood I have presented here. The title of this story is Robin Hood Gets Away. So one story means the story should have a title, must have a title. The story must have a setting. The story must have beginning, resolution, ending. So let us see this story and thereby try to understand these features are available in this story or not. Robin Hood Gets Away, it is the title of the story. One fine day, Robin Hood was looking for adventure in the forest when he met an old man dressed in poor clothes. So this is the orientation or setting of the story. Means one day, and then at that time he met one old man. The old man was wearing tattered clothes. Now beginning, Robin swapped clothes with the old man, took his bow and arrow and went into the town. As he was looking round, the sheriff's men grabbed him, hold of him, because they thought he was an outlaw. Now, Robin changed dress. Robin gave his own dress to that old man and he himself wore the dress of that old man. Sheriff means, you know, in England means when there was kingship was there, then the means in European countries when there was kingship was, they were called sheriffs. So the executives men people, they saw the means one the sheriff's man's old man. You know, actually now this is old man is Robin Hood himself, because Robin Hood has taken the dress of the old man. He has given his own dress to that old man, and he has owned the dress of the old man. So it is the beginning part of the story. Now the story will go to complication. Now the question is why Robin Hood changed his dress? Because in simple dress means Robin Hood actually participate in archery competition, he will not be given a chance. So Robin Hood wants to participate in the archery competition. Now the question is, will Robin Hood in the dress of the old man will be able to participate in that archery competition? Robin saw there was an archery contest starting, so he told the sheriff's men that he was just a poor old man coming to try his luck at shooting. So Robin told the sheriff's men that he wants to test himself, if he can target the bull's eye or not, if his arrow is able to pierce the bull's eye or not, that he wants to check. Now the soldiers started laughing. Now see, we are going to the solution of this story. Resolution. The soldiers laughed and let Robin go to the contest. When it was Robin's turn, he put all his arrows into the bull eye. The sheriff was surprised and gave Robin a bag of silver and asked Robin, "Tell me, old man, where did you learn to shoot like that?" And you know, the ending of the story then, it is that a man called Robin Hood taught me. The old man told, I have learned this from Robin Hood. Actually, the old man himself is Robin Hood. So here is the ending of the story. In this story, we see the title, orientation, beginning of the event, resolution, ending. Now, friends, one question may come in you. Less or more, we all people tell stories. Then why storytelling is needed? Technique is needed. Yes. All people tell stories, but all stories are not interesting. If we know the art of telling story, then only we can present one story in an interesting manner. And then only our purpose will be successful. Then only objective of the education will be fulfilled. I'm going to the next slide. Now, how long should a short story be? Generally, this is the era of short story because we people are very much busy. As a result, most of the stories which are given in the syllabus also, you see, most of the stories are short story. Short story, and now the question is, even at the present time, the stories which are being written, most of the stories are short stories. Because this world is busy, in a very brief space, we need to understand a very important thing. Now, how long should a short story be? Many have given different types of definitions regarding the length of a short story. There are many famous stories we read also. Suppose Lagoon is one of the short story which had 7 pages. But whereas Fly, another short story, which is written by Catherine Mansfield, which has only 2-3 pages. Catherine Mansfield has the little girl that is given in the syllabus of 9. If you see that story also, that has 3 pages, 3.5. So now what should be the definition of short story? Rabindranath Tagore has given a very beautiful definition of short story. He had said short story means that story can be finished in a single sitting. And this story had simple words, simple sentence, and the story is crystal clear. And at the end of this story, reader will think that as if the story is not finished, as if he wants to listen. So when we tell story in the class, when our story will be finished, if we are able to tell one story in proper manner, children will say, sir, one more. They will wait for the next class that sir will tell another story in the next class. Main objective is to arouse interest of the students. That's why Howard Gardner has said a very important word, that stories are the single most powerful tool in a leader's toolkit. Howard Gardner has given the theory of multiple intelligence. Howard Gardner said, stories are the single most powerful toolkit in a leader's bag. So now I would like to introduce before you some of the salient features, salient aspects that we should know. Once it has a place, a setting, it has plot may be usual, plot may be funny, plot may be interesting. But stories should have the